Ladies and gentlemen, I am Star-Lord New Thor 7, your planetary defense commander. And as a protector of the planet, the people, and the animals, I have to tell you that I disagree with science completely. Science has been telling us that the only thing that matters in our weather and our climate is carbon. And I'm here to tell you, it is much different than that. You see, what happens is the sun changes and the earth changes, and then we change. And so if what we know is correct about our solar system, whereas, I don't know, ever since mankind got a smartphone, he got pretty dumb and simplified everything into basic bumper sticker terms. Like, why is everything in the weather weird? Carbon? Well, what if it is more complicated than that? At a time when science and religion have turned their back on the sun and the solar system, maybe it is time we look into what they call the forbidden or hidden knowledge. Because one interesting thing I have found as we on planet Earth orbit around a giant magical ball of light we call the sun, things are weird, and things are getting weirder. It's like civilization is in retrograde. And so my staggering, Nobel Prize winning, big kiss getting science theory is that crazy shit happens. See, even I change. I went from Thor to Thor the Star-Lord. Good times. Shit happens when all the planets are on the same side of the solar system. That, what is it? Angular momentum, velocity, thermonuclear dynamics, viscosity, fluid. So as we spin around, the weight and pressure and gravity that is being put on the sun and the other planets and their atmospheres becomes more extreme when there is less balance in the solar system. And over the summer, we got to a very rare point where every single main planet in the solar system is on the same side of the sun. And so that, I do believe, is one of the main causes we are seeing in our changes in our sun, our atmosphere, and our tectonic plates and our Earth's core. And that is one of the reasons we are seeing a larger uptick in volcanoes and earthquakes. For example, let us go to 200 years ago. Look, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 7. There were 7 volcanoes erupting in California 200 years ago. See that? About 200 years ago, you had the New Madrid earthquakes in 1811 and 1812. Well, if we check, all the major gas giants were on the same side of the sun. And so now we are going through a period where all the gas giants are on the same side of the sun. And the last time I understand that this happened, where all the planets were on the same side of the sun, was about 200 years ago. So it takes Jupiter 12 years to orbit, which coincidentally is the same time frame the UN gave us to adapt to these Earth weather changes, or society will collapse. And so I would guess that it'll continue to keep getting weirder as Jupiter comes around here, when you have all the gas giants in one small cone, I definitely think the weather's going to get wild and we're going to see more earthquakes and volcano activity. And so we need to be working together to get our shit together as fast as possible as one Earth team. You know what's weird is I don't worry about Americans, for better or for worse. They kind, people mostly will just believe what everybody's telling them, and so it's like, hey, carbon, fine, but so the people, I think, if you explain this to them properly, they will understand it. It's the scientists who are going to have a hard time believing that they have been wrong or not totally correct for the last 30 years, 40. And so I think this is a major factor, and I think it is one we can continue to look into. But if we live in a solar system that has balance, and it takes Jupiter 12 years to orbit, Saturn 29 years to orbit, Uranus 84 years, Neptune 165, Pluto 248, Eris 600. I mean, we haven't been in this situation, and then Eris is the outlier. I found several large volcano eruptions and earthquake eruptions that came at either the Eris alignment or one of the other planets in the giant Eris system they continue to show us. I think that is a factor too, but it's probably smaller in the short term. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Either way, we got to work in 6-month intervals. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, shit is going to get weird, and this is here, 1812, February 7th, when the new Madrid earthquake happened. All the main gas giants happened to be on the same side. And Earth and Mercury, Mars and Venus were over there, but I definitely think the way we understand and know everything, that planets being on the same side of the sun makes a big difference. And science can try to explain to me how the sun changing isn't as important as human-caused carbon, or all the planets being on the same side has no negligible effect on our atmosphere. I mean, I don't even know how that makes any sense. If this thing is spinning around through space, interstellar medium, which is probably more like an aquarium than an empty vacuum, then how, when you have all the planets on the same side, how does that not make a major difference? Especially considering, like, the mass of Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus and Neptune are supposed to be way huger, way massier than Earth. So that is one of the theories out there of all the reasons we're going to see wild weather changing. And maybe possibly our planet tilting in the magnetic North Pole in the area it is directing in. Because another thing, like, Eris is so fascinating to me in every single way. Where did Pluto go? Did they take it off here completely? That was a dick move. Yep, anyway, so that's my crazy radical theory. I will make more edited videos discussing it if I survive. I don't know, shit's crazy, man. Everybody's going crazy. If anybody watches this in the future, it is October 23rd, 2018, and just everybody's mad at everybody. Everybody's been arguing with everybody for like 2 straight years about politics. Like, somehow, A, arguing about politics mattered and made a difference, or B, politicians ever fixed anything. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's my science theory. Take it or leave it. I'll love you either way. Everybody, stay cool.